Next we have Hens. What a weirdly named game, right? Like just Hens. And that's what this game is. You're trying to put cards down into a grid to get the best prize hens. That's what you're doing. You're breeding hens. But it's basically a card-laying game. Here's how. In this game, you're playing with a deck of hen cards that are made up of various types that are numbered from 1 to 6. They have eggs on them, and some eggs are worth medals. There's a little chart here that shows you all of them. Each player is going to start with 4 of these cards. You'll play with a few less of the breeds of hens if you have fewer than 4 players. You also start with 1 gold card. So on your turn, you have 4 cards. First thing you'll do is you'll draw 2 cards. You can draw from the top of the draw pile, or you can draw from other people's discard piles, because each player will have their separate discard piles. You're then going to play a hen in front of you, and then you discard a card to your own discard pile. So you draw 2, play 1, discard 1. In the future, each hen that you play must be adjacent to the hen that you have, and you'll have a grid of 4x3 or 3x4 because you're playing 12 cards over the course of the game. If you're adjacent, though, you have to be the same color, or it has to be a number that's 1 higher or 1 lower if you're going to a crossbreed. If you're going next to 2 hens, you'd have to be next to both of them. So this 3 can go next to the 4, but can't go next to the 6, while this 5 will fit in there just fine. So what you're trying to do in this game, halfway through the game, when you play your 6th card, you're then going to put a rooster token onto your board. So you're going to be drawing 2, playing 1, but you'll place a rooster on what you hope to be your second biggest group. At the end of the game, your biggest group, and this is a small, you'll have a 4x3, like I said, your biggest group will give you 1 point for every egg. Your rooster group will give you a point for each egg if it's not your biggest group. You'll also get 2 points for every 3 medals that you have. You'll get points for basically these meeting the criteria on the gold card, or both goals if possible. And sometimes you'll be forced, because you're forced to play a card every time, if you don't have a card that you can play legally, you'll be forced to play them face down, and those are -1 point at the end of the game. Most points is the winner. I really dislike hens. Like, really dislike hens. It's just not interesting to me at all. You are playing hens down, and they're like, you want to have eggs, you want to have a big group and then a second smaller group, and you want to get the trophies, and you want to meet the requirements of this card here. But in reality, you just want to be able to play your cards. The game gets incredibly boring as it goes farther because, yes, you can draw cards off other people's discard piles, which happens all the time since better the cards you know than random cards you don't know. And you're just, can I place the card at all is the thing. And it doesn't feel like there's any strategy, anything to it. Add a boring theme on top of that, I really dislike this one. 4 out of 10, just not very enjoyable. I know some people might like it, but there are so many games where you're building grids of stuff. Building a grid of hens and with strict placement rules, but not very interesting. I just didn't like it.